Hi there and welcome to Apple World. So Steve Harvey simply dropped everything and fled from the country with his distinguished between his legs, in light of the fact that listen, the roads are talking. And they're saying Steve pimped out his little girl Lori to Diddy as installment for a few blessings that Diddy conceded him now clearly. Steve has been Diddy's partner in crime for quite a while, aiding him coordinated freak-offs and tidy up later. Anything turns out badly in return. Why give Steve the solicitation to the most restrictive Hollywood clubs anyway when Steve felt like he was losing Diddy? He supposedly set his little girl Lori to work furthermore. Fundamentally presented her to Diddy also. Their alleged oddity off film of Diddy and Lori that even the federal authorities don't have, however, at this point that Diddy is confronting a very long time in jail. He's taking out all the stops to get out, uncovering each single individual who at any point added to his oddity offs. And Steve Harvey is currently sitting around idly to see whether he's going down with Diddy sinking transport. However, does Diddy truly have a film of Lori Harvey? And what was Steve's part taking all things together? How about we separate it? So Diddy is sort of known right now for getting them youthful, if you catch my drift, so it's not continuously shocking each time he springs up with the new young lady or side piece that is many years more youthful than him anyway. At the point when pictures of Diddy and Lori Harvey begun circulating around, and the web was shook. And not due to the age hole. What truly had jaws dropping to the ground was the way that Lori was Steve Harvey's little girl. I mean, all things considered, you would figure Steve Harvey would do all that he could to forestall his girl from getting into certain circles. Despite the fact that, well, she's a grown-up furthermore, she can date whoever she enjoys. However, Diddy, come on now, and what compelled it even creepier was the way that in no time before she was spotted with Diddy, Lori had been supposed to be seeing someone with Diddy's child Justin, which made more sense on the grounds that most certainly they're nearer also. Progress in years. So for Diddy and Lori to simply begin going on dates and looking friendly, in open, better believe it, something off-putting was going on. The dating bits of gossip initially began at some point around July 2019, at the point when they were crouched together in Mexico, followed up by an extravagant excursion to Italy. During this outing, the couple was spotted spending time with Lori's folks, Steve and Marjorie, and Steve was up there grinning like he walked away with that sweepstakes or something, despite the fact that they never affirmed the dating bits of gossip. Lori and Diddy certainly look a lot of like a 2 or 3 things. Got considerably spicier when Lori was subsequently spotted shaking a huge ring that seemed to be a wedding band at a Sarek occasion. Reports were drifting near about Lori being locked into Diddy. He would have asked about tying the knot during that vacation with Lori's loved ones anyway. Lori later denied these tales in a post where she said, "I'm not locked in to quit accepting all that you all read on a blog." Well, fans were going to be messed with that feeble G remark, however. I mean, since everything about Lori and Diddy's relationship was given sentiment, Lori was spotted sporting white, as a matter of fact nail clean, during the excursion that she took with Diddy together, which fans begun to look okay and contemplate whether it had anything to do with the things Cassie said in her claim. Cassie charged Diddy of making her wear white nail clean and leery during freak-offs on the grounds that Diddy jumped at the chance to see how the variety differentiated with BBS he used to employ for that experiences. And thinking back, it's, truth be told, odd that pretty much every lady and did he has even sincerely connected to, even his mom, was spotted wearing white nail clean with him. Eventually, indeed, it's gives significant warnings, and when inquired about it, Diddy child ruler brushes didn't truly have a lot to say. He said they're great. They simply be private time that is up to them. It seemed like ruler was attempting truly hard to not spill something he shouldn't have, and he was attempting to pick his words cautiously, yet as much as did he attempted to keep things hush with Lori, words actually got out that the relationship was a lot more profound than just family kinship, as indicated by an insider. He and Lori had a tomfoolery throw, yet Diddy is as yet recuperating furthermore. Zeroing in on himself right now, he is not prepared to be in a long-haul committed relationship and is zeroing in on his children at this moment. Concerning Lori, this is what she needed to say regarding the entire thing. "I got that now. Such countless things get composed about you in the press. However, I've generally needed to realize what is like the greatest misinterpretation about who Lori Harvey is. It's so amusing. 'Cause since I'm so calm, there's been such countless stories that have been made up about me. Like I've seen tales about me being like completely in adoration with someone, and we have like this entire relationship, and I'll see the fellow, and I'm like, I've quite indeed even met him before. No, like out and out stories I've heard. I've dated a dad also. A child before, false in no way, shape, or form valid. and I've even heard that I'm a lesbian at one point, so you know there's been a variety of things. A great deal of stories, a ton of misinterpretations. Does it engage you? Goodness, I believe they're comical. I love the tales, they're extremely engaging. I will give them at extremely engaging. Yet I just let it roll off my shoulder. I love that anyway, it seems like every last bit of it could have simply been a concealment, since word in the roads is that Diddy was involving Lori for a few exceptionally evil things. Okay, so previously, we get into every one of that. We really want a bit of setting concerning what Diddy and Steve Harvey's relationship truly is like. See, Diddy and Steve go as far back as 2005 when they began running in something very similar to Hollywood circles. During that time, Steve permitted Diddy to approach his family and his children to the place where Steve's children viewed Diddy as a family companion, so that just added an additional layer of peculiarity to the entire circumstance. I mean, envision attempting to get with the youngster you essentially watched grow up while you were at that point an entire grown-up. It's giving chaotic well anyway, as indicated by insiders. Steve permitted Diddy to have that sort of access since he was Diddy's partner in crime. We've seen Steve carry on like a fanboy around too often to count. However, it goes way more profound than that. Steve is supposedly one of the flunkies he approaches. When he really wants somebody to do his grimy work in return, he permits Steve to approach selective and unusual parties. Certain individuals have hypothesized that Steve gave Diddy endowments to date Lori as an approach to taking care of obligations he owed Diddy. What were these obligations for? We don't know precisely yet. Diddy is a very strong name in the business, and with all that we've caught wind of Diddy, you can speculate at what Steve might at some point perhaps owe him. As a matter of fact, there are bits of gossip that Diddy utilized Steve's freak-off film to coerce him into surrendering his little girl love. It would make sense of why Steve attempted as much as he could to appear as though he was all right with the entire situation, despite the fact that there truly shouldn't have been anything interesting about a man with Diddy's notoriety romancing your more youthful little girl, Steve. Gracious. Yet it gets more obscure. Evidently, the way that Diddy was Steve's nearby family companion didn't make him treat Steve's little girl any better than he treated his other accomplices. And did he supposedly used to do a similar horrendous thing? Sailor, get to Cassie. Kim Misa and each other lady before her. Well, Diddy's asked Gina Hugh and spilled the tea about it when she uncovered Diddy for putting hands on her and mistreating her when they were together. As per Gina, she wasn't the only one Diddy dealt with like that. However, she guaranteed that she saw Diddy do exactly the same thing to Lori, and it was genuinely horrendous. We was in Miami. And it got truly insane that time. We was higher up and he had we were in his wardrobe and he pushed me. And I tumbled to the ground and afterward he remained over me. So I resembled laying on my back and he remained over me and he began punching me like this, he kept away from my face. Yet he began punching me on my head. And I was very much covering my face. And he did that and afterward. And then at that point, after he finished doing that, he cuz he was standing, his legs were in the middle between me. So he trampled my stomach truly hard and to an extreme for me to deal with, and it was very much like Jordan. And afterward, the J-Jin young lady, and afterward, the feline young lady, and afterward, a massive late Lori Harvey, Steve Harvey's stepdaughter, better believe it. What did Steve truly think would occur? However, anticipating that a tiger should change his stripes is only an unrivaled level of fancy. However, at that point again, Steve has kind of been setting up his little girl for this second for quite a while in spite of not being his natural youngster. Anyone anywhere can see that Lori is Steve's number one, and it's not simply online that he shows his partiality. He doesn't stow away it in any event. With regards to his organic kids, who he totally disregarded when he wed Marjorie Harvey and took on her children. Lori once spouted about the amount she partakes in Steve's consideration. Furthermore, how she adores the way that he continuously set aside a few minutes for them to have father-girl holding minutes like having lunch together. You took me on one of our yearly father-daughter dates to my most loved Japanese eatery, and you recently began conversing with me about folks also. You just let me know that continuously upheld me and you'd constantly be there for me regardless of what you adored me genuinely, and I super value you for that anyway. It would appear to be that during these get-togethers, Steve wasn't simply staying. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.